Good morning, class. My name is Dr. Araipo. You can call me Dr. A. I have sent you several emails regarding the course already, and I was hoping that you have had a chance to explore the course. Here's the homepage of Canvas. And I put numbers there, so you just basically follow the numbers. Number one was a welcoming message, welcoming you to the course. I'm very happy to have you here. Number two is the class philosophy. Let's quickly look at that.
This class is a community and therefore, we all have the same objective, to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you are not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. Many problems and questions can be resolved by asking a fellow student. I am always here to help you, but I truly believe your experience will be more fruitful if you communicate with your fellow students as well. Let us work together to make this a memorable semester for each and every one of us. Course objectives. The primary objectives of our Survey of Calculus 1 course include the foundational principles of calculus, an integral branch of mathematics that delves into comprehending rates of change and accumulation. The principal aim of this course is to familiarize students with the fundamental concepts and techniques of calculus, which form the bedrock for grasping alterations and deviations in diverse fields. The course will be structured around several key focal points, encompassing the exploration of fundamental concepts of analytic geometry, the study of limits and continuity, and the exploration of differentiation and integration pertaining to algebraic and trigonometric functions. Additionally, the course will engage with real-life applications from the realm of life sciences, showcasing various interpretations of derivatives and integrals. These applications will span topics such as maximum-minimum problems and optimization, linearization and difference equations, sequences, sequential limits, as well as antiderivatives and integrations.
And if you want to contact me, you can do it via Canvas or my email address, or.araipo@csulb.edu, and I answer them within 24 hours, Monday through Friday. So going back to the homepage, the next one is number 3. Those are the announcements. Let me put this in student mode. These are the announcements that have been sent to you. And of course, if you miss them as an email, you can find them under the announcements. For example, information about exams coming up, it will be sent to you and you can find them here. Number 4, what do we find under number 4? Syllabus, modules, which has the practice test, PowerPoints, solution to that, homework, quiz, discussion forum, exams. First at the bottom, everybody, this is where you find the information about the office hours. It takes place daily with the Zoom meeting that you can see from 7 to 8. However, we don't want to mix them up with this Zoom meeting. This one is where we attend the class. Two different things. Now, syllabus. You can find it here or on the left navigation bar. First, it's the calendar class. That gives us the information about what we cover and the due dates, okay? Such as a mandatory introduction to my open math. I'm going to refer to it as MOM from now on. It happens immediately. Algebra review and so forth. This one is the syllabus, and again, welcoming you to the course, information about the section number and the time. Now, there are various topics, and the reason I put them in this format because syllabi are getting larger and larger, so you can go to the topic of interest. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to go over everything. So we have the material and course description, catalog description, course goals, text, and I will show you when we go to my open math, I'll show you the text also. Everything is free. You don't have to pay for anything. You can find it online. Class calendar, roughly every 3 to 4 weeks, we have an exam. So for example, the first exam is coming up in a few weeks. Every exam takes place on Saturdays, except the final. The final has a specific time and date set up by the campus, and we'll discuss that further as we get closer and closer to the final. So you don't have to worry about it for now. But the rest of the exams, on Monday of that week, you receive an email with the information, including the password. And you have until Saturday to take it. And it, as I mentioned, it is also password protected. There is no Proctorio. Calculators, there are calculators online. So I put the resources, free online resources. I believe students shouldn't pay for anything. So tech support, if you happen to have a problem with any issue, the publisher support, the Canvas support, the campus. Campus really is good. You can get all types of helps from them. Math Tutorial Center is free and available. Grading policy. We have 4 exams. Each one is 100 points. Homework is total of 200 points, which is homework, My Open Math 10 points, Algebra Review 20, total of 200 points, 10, 20, 170. And those two happen to be very important to be done immediately. Quiz is worth 100 points, and the final is 300 points. This is a point system. 90% or above, meaning 900 points or more, is an A. 80% and above, that means 800 to 899 is a B, so on and so forth. Now, your lowest grade before the final may be dropped and replaced by the final. If the final is good, that means B or higher, 80% or higher. And both homework and quizzes are at 95%. And more importantly, this action will result in a higher letter grade. Because if we do that and a B remains as B, 800, let's say 30 points versus 860 points makes no difference. It's still a B. So we don't do that. There is no makeup policy. Remember, from the Monday of the exam week that you receive an email and information, you can take the exam until the due date. Most students wait until the due date. That's up to you. But if something comes up, you can let me know ahead of time. Course late work policy, there's a 10% penalty. The first couple of assignments, there is no late policy for that. You have to do them immediately. CSULB 36, that's very important, I think, for a student to know. For every unit, we need 3 hours. So we need 9 hours of work for this course outside the classroom, because it's a 3-unit course. Then there are other informations such as dropping policy and so on. If you like to look at that, basic needs. Now, summary steps to success. You want to study the lecture PowerPoints, create a formula sheet, do the examples, homework, quizzes to get ready for the exam. The office hours are posted here, as well as at the bottom of the home page of Canvas, and more information regarding holidays and so on. So the next one is the modules and the discussion forum. Let me show you the discussion forum first, doesn't take long. What you find underneath is student bios. I put mine as an example, and please put yours so students can, your fellow students, get to know you. If you want to reply to any student, please do so, but make sure it's encouraging words and with utmost respect. Frequently asked questions. Before you send an email, if you have a question, your question may be answered here, such as using the math editor. Do I need a course ID for this course? When I register for My Open Math, the answer is absolutely not. Okay? Because we use Canvas. I'll show you how it's done in a moment. Other information such as campus technical support, publisher support, and so forth. And again, this question comes up, although I've already answered it. Password will be sent to you. and you can find it under the announcements. The final exam password, you have to come to this same Zoom meeting to receive it whenever the time comes. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, now the modules is what matters, and it has everything. So when you click on the modules, what do you find first? First and foremost, this is the digital platform, everybody. You register if you have a username and password, sign. If not, register. How do you register? I suggest you use username and password that you're comfortable with. For example, the one that you use for your email address. It's your choice. And after you register, it will take you to my OpenMath, okay? But for now, let's continue with the work. So under the modules, the first one takes you to my OpenMath. Of course, the first time you have to register. What is the second one? These are recorded lectures and exam reviews. Here's the latest one. And if you go to that one, you have everything that has been recorded. So if anybody wants to move ahead, you have everything at your disposal, okay? And the new one, I'll put it in here as it becomes available. Modules. All right. Now, the next one, exam 1 module, exam 2, exam 3, exam 4, and final exam. We will go over one of them, and that tells you what you need to do and what's coming up, and all of them are similar. The very last one is also a resource about calculators, okay? For example, you can get these calculators online, okay? Or these are the TI calculator commands if need. All right, so those are resources. So going back to the modules, we are going to discuss exam 1 module. What do we find there? First, we find the exam review. Why did I put this first? Because I want you to take a few minutes to read that to see what is being covered for the first exam. And it has that as well as the key. What comes next? These are all the PowerPoints. So for example, today we're going to start with this. I want you to pay attention. You can get it here. You don't have to write definitions, theorems, proofs, even examples. So what do you write? Solution to each example, okay? You write the solution to each example, step by step, okay? What's last? This one, in each module. What's that? That's the solution to that exam review with a lot more stuff, step by step. And this is discussed, and we are going to go over that during the week of the exam to get you ready for the exam. And if you master that, you will have an easy time with the exam. Okay. So that's the modules. So now, again, going back to the modules, this very first one helps you register with my OpenMath. So you register with my OpenMath, it'll take you here. So let's see what we find there. First, at the very top, I put the first assignment, introduction to my OpenMath, because you have to learn how to work with that. Then it's algebra review. The purpose of that is to make sure you know what your prior knowledge of mathematics is. So therefore, if you need to study a little bit with preview stuff, by all means, and review some chapters that I tell you where to find them, you may want to do that. Exams and quizzes can be found here, okay? For now, we don't have to worry about that. This is the description of the course, and of course,
All content is in the course modules folders, which include videos and sets of homework exercises. Some videos are embedded within the homework and some can be found at the beginning of the chapter.
so as we go down, what do we find? First, we find the calendar. Notice introductory assignment is due immediately, then it's algebra review, then we have some quizzes. Here's the exam. Right before the exam, you have a bunch of homework. I want you to pay attention to this. Please don't wait until that day to do all your homework in one shot. You will not be able to comprehend the entire thing. So what do I want you to do? Very simple. After we finish a section, I'll let you know you can do your homework. We have module 0. What is module 0? As the name indicates, resources. Take a look. For example, here's the text. And you can find it in the form of a PDF or just view it online. I recommend you view it online if you need it. And there's more here. These are calculators. How to use a late pass. Using a calendar. Free online calculators, again, we had it under the syllabus, we have it here. And again, for the exam, you can only use scientific calculator, okay? But there are other types of calculators here. And for example, this particular one, Desmos, you also have videos in case you want to know how they work. And here's what I was referring to, chapter review. When you take the algebra review, if you find certain questions difficult, you probably want to come here and they're not being graded. So you want to work on these reviews that include review of functions, class of functions, trigonometric functions, inverse functions, exponential functions, factoring, and other ones, okay? So module 0 is just a bunch of resources. If you don't need it, so be it. So you start with module 1, everybody, okay? So module 1, 1.6, and 2.1. First, you have a bunch of pages that you can go to or can go over in text. Then you have some videos. If you don't need them, you don't need them. Just start with the homework. Again, as soon as we are done with the section, I recommend you do that. Don't wait until the due date. So to see how the homework work, because some of them come with videos, some of them, if you make a mistake, all of them, if you make a mistake, you can repeat that until you get it right. How does it work? I will show you with this mandatory assignment. So this is the first one you are supposed to do. So let me show you how it works. So you start, and this is just show you how to work with my OpenMath. There's really not much to that. So the moment I click on this box, it brings a palette. I can use a square root, fraction bar, and so on. So the first thing says, put this number in 66.2483. The second part, they want us to use the same number, but round it to the nearest hundreds. So that means 66.2. Now, 4 either remains or goes up. And the reason it goes up, because next to 4 is 8. If it's a number 5 or larger, goes up. Divided by 0, you can't divide by 0. It's undefined. They don't have undefined. You put D, which is does not exist. Now, if you submit the question, it tells you right away with the check mark, you got the points. We do the same thing with question number 2. Now, notice And everybody knows that 1/3 is equal to 0.3 bar. It says 4 or more decimals. Let's just put one decimal on purpose, which is wrong. So it tells you it's wrong. There's a X in red, it's wrong. So what do? If you get a similar question, which happened to be the same question, now 0. And I put a lot more than 4 just to be on the safe side, and I submit it. And notice I got my points. So this is what I mean. You have several attempts. Just get a similar question if you make a mistake. And I'm not going to continue, but you can continue. What happens if you don't continue? You click done here. Your grade so far has been registered. If you resume before the due date, it will update your grade. If not, this will be your final grade for this particular home. Okay? So you can resume it in case something comes up later on. Or for now, we're going to exit. So I want to recap what we just did. So here's the homepage of Canvas. Number 1, a welcoming message. Number 2, class philosophy. Number 3, you can find the announcements. They will be emailed to you if you miss it over here. Right here, this is the Zoom meeting, everybody. Right here, for the class, the bottom of the page, office hours. Syllabus was discussed, and modules, so syllabus, you can find the syllabus and the calendar, okay? Discussion forum has student bios and frequently asked questions. And the only thing left is the modules. And this is where you register with MyOpenMath. This is where you get the recorded lectures. And you're concerned with the first module only for now. First gives you the exam review. Second one gives you the PowerPoints that we need for the lecture. And third one gives you solution to the exam review with details. And we go over that on the week of exam. MyOpenMath, you start with introductory assignment to MyOpenMath, algebra review. For now, you can ignore the exams and quizzes because you want to get on with the module 0 to see what resources you have. If you are uncomfortable with algebra review, you want to pay attention to chapter review. Other than that, you go to module 1, you start your homework. So that's the synopsis of what you need to know to be successful in this course. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.